Hello, my name is Andy Katsiri. I'm a peer educator for Right to Know and Challenging All Men to Prevent Sexism from the UCI CARE office. On behalf of CARE, I would like to extend a warm welcome and a thank you to you for participating in Take Back the Night. This year's theme, You Are Enough, aims to exemplify, validate, and encourage survivors and allies' voices. Our final keynote speaker for this event is Dr. Keith Edwards. Over the past 20 years, Keith has spoken and consulted at more than 200 universities and colleges, presented more than 200 programs at national conferences, and written more than 20 articles or book chapters on sexual violence prevention, men's identity, and social justice education. Keith co-edited the book Addressing Sexual Violence in Higher Education and co-authored the chapter on comprehensive sexual violence prevention in his book. He co-chaired American College Personnel Association's Presidential Task Force on Sexual Violence Prevention in Higher Education and co-edited the publication Beyond Compliance, Addressing Sexual Violence in Higher Education. Additionally, Keith has given a TED Talk on how preventing sexual violence has been viewed around the world. For Take Back the Night 2021, Keith reminds you that you are enough. You are enough to survive sexual violence, to heal, and to thrive. That you are enough to support survivors in your life. That you are enough to get consent, to give it, and to change your mind. That you are enough to prevent sexual violence when it is imminent, and to intervene at the roots of sexual violence in our communities. You are enough. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Keith Edwards. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm a speaker, consultant, coach. You can find out more about me at keithedwards.com. I'm coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is the ancestral homelands of both the Dakota and Ojibwe peoples. I do work around sexual violence prevention, social justice education, men's identities, leadership development, and other things. You can find out more about me at my website, as I mentioned, and there's a TEDx talk on preventing sexual violence that you can easily find by Googling around. I'm excited to be with you virtually. I was at UC Irvine exactly a year ago. I spent 2 days there working with staff and got to see the campus, eat in the dining hall, and meet so many great people. I'm honored by the invitation. I love your theme of I am enough, and here's what I wanted to share with you. You are enough. You just are. Not because of what you've done or accomplished, or your relationships or achievements or grades, just for being you, just for being. You are enough to know that others can't engage you with words, sexual words, gestures, contact, or penetration without your consent. That is sexual violence. That is harassment, assault, and rape. You are enough to survive sexual violence. You are enough to recover, heal from, and thrive beyond that particular experience. You may need help. You are enough to deserve help. You are enough to ask for help. You are enough to support survivors in your life. You're enough to make sure that they are safe, to say, I believe you, to repeat, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. And to empower them to make decisions about how they move forward, recover, and heal. You are enough to know that you may need support yourself when you're supporting someone else who's experienced sexual violence. You are enough to know what consent is, to explain it, to recognize it, to give it and take it back, to listen to it, to clarify and clarify again. You are enough to say no. You are enough to say yes. You are enough to say, yes, but not now, not like that, not here, not with you. You are enough to be unsure. You are enough to ask, I'm not clear, is this okay with you? Is this what you want? Are you still into this? Reading minds is science fiction. Real people communicate. It's not hard. It's fun. It's intimacy. It's connection. It's not an obstacle to pleasure and connection. It is necessary. You are enough to not live in fear, even when that fear is nothing more than logical, rational, and informed. Sexual violence is far too common, but it isn't inevitable. You are enough to be a part of the solution, to not just be reactive to the sexual violence in our lives, in our communities, and in our world. We can be proactive as well. You are enough to change your behavior, to challenge the behavior of your peers, and you are enough to join with people of all genders to create a culture on this campus, in this community, and in this world that says sexual violence and its roots are socially unacceptable, rare, and ending. You are enough to create change. Yes, you. Yes, right now. You don't need to feel like an adult, wait until you're in charge, have stability, a degree, are fully healed, and are perfect. You are enough just as you are, right here, right now. You are enough to change things. Not all by yourself, but you are enough. You are enough to speak up and take a stand. You are enough to intervene when sexual violence is imminent. You're enough to intervene when two people are into each other, but way too drunk. You're enough to intervene when someone isn't taking no for an answer. You're enough to get someone to a safer place when they're in a vulnerable position. You are enough to prevent sexual violence when it is imminent. You are enough to be a hero. And you are enough to intervene not just when sexual violence is imminent, but also at the roots of sexual violence. You are enough to change the culture. You are enough to address the objectification of women and the dehumanizing of trans folks. You are enough to challenge the subordination of women and trans folks' intelligence, capability, and humanity. You are enough to challenge the toxic messages about masculinity that define masculinity by sexual conquest. The messages about masculinity that contribute to sexual violence, reinforce systemic sexism and patriarchy, and grant men concrete and real privileges, and simultaneously diminish and dehumanize men and rob us of our authenticity and humanity. You are enough to recognize the intersections of racism, classism, homophobia, and other forms of oppression that intersect to reinforce systems, culture, and the roots of sexual violence. You are enough to create the change that will not just prevent sexual violence, but create communities in which we are all more free to connect in ways that are meaningful and enjoyable for us. You are enough. You are enough to give me hope. I am hopeful because I believe we can join together and create a tomorrow that is better than today. I believe you are enough to help make that happen. I am hopeful because of the actions you will take each day, each life, in small ways and in big ways. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Thank you.